Okay, well, good afternoon, guys, and welcome to week 2 in the organizational behavior class. And what you see behind me here is in the tent on the campus here on Sunday afternoon. And probably hear a lot of buzzing and voices behind me. This is freshman orientation today, so thought I'd maybe give you a little view as to what's going on here on campus. We've got almost well over 300, pushing 400 new freshmen here. And they're all joining in the experience that you've been going along with online. So just hopefully you'll get a little flavor of what the campus is like today. Okay, what to expect in week 2. Week 2 here, again, you're going to see an awful lot of material in the course. There's a lot of stuff there. Don't let it intimidate you. Just kind of plow through it. It's much simpler, I think, once you get into it than it may appear when you see these long lectures and graphics and models appear on the screen. But to give you a flavor of what we're going to do is, remember, we're doing organizational behavior. Well, organizations are what? They're collections of individuals. So first things we have to start examining are some models of individual behavior, how people respond in different situations. And so with that in mind, we're going to start looking at 2 things this week: individual behavior, and then that ever-present factor of today's society and business and organizations and families and social groups and whatever have you, and that's change. Okay, change is a constant. I know we're tired of hearing that the only thing never changing is the pace of change and what's going on. But guess what? It is a reality, and you need to look at it that way. So what we're going to do is lead you through some models of personal behavior, of how individuals actually behave and respond in situations. And the ones I think, if you really want to simplify it down in the end, you can see an ABC model, which says antecedents, conditions that existed, behavior, consequences. Another way I've often presented to people is attitudes, which control your thoughts and your way of thinking, the way you look at things. Those control your behaviors, which are actions and things that you actually do, and that leads results. That's what happens. That's the output of this process. So you can either look at it either way: the attitudes, behavior, results, or the ABCs: antecedents, behavior, consequences. But those are the things that we're leading up to. The second thing we're going to show you is a video on change and how people feel about it and respond to it. And I'm going to ask you to participate now in a graded discussion board about that video in particular. How did you interpret the video? What did you learn from it? So, discussion board, it's worth a mention now, is something I value. As I said earlier, I value it very highly. I really want you to make sure that your first post in there is something you really considered. Don't just dive in before you've read the material and watched the videos. Take your time, get in there, and along about midweek, let's get something substantive up there. And then, as you see in the guidelines, I'd like you responding to people in your class. There is a rubric also that lets you know what I expect from a discussion board, and I think that should help you out. That's about it for this week. Oh, no, that isn't. I'm sorry. Then there's also a written assignment. Told you there were going to be written assignments. Well, there is one there. A very short case study at the end. The links I checked work. It's to an old case study from Business Week. Again, talking about a company that you're going to recognize, Coca-Cola. And we'd like you to submit a roughly one page analysis of what's in the case. The instructions are fairly clear. Make sure when you do that you use Blackboard, that you submit your work in Blackboard. I always forget to remind people of this, but really try to make sure that it's in a document, a Microsoft document link, or if you're a Mac user, make sure you append it as a .docx. Otherwise, I can't read it, and if I can't read it, I can't grade it, and you can't get credit for it. So need to make sure that people are there. Writing is important. Expressing yourself clearly is important. So here we have really 2 chances of doing this week, both in the discussion board and in a brief writing assignment. So I want you coming along, I want you doing that, and that's how things are going to go. I've got some people walking by here. One of my colleagues is just walking by, laughing uproariously because she thinks I'm standing here just talking to a camera randomly, so Dr. Baruth will be hearing from me later. She's a psychologist, so she really probably thinks I'm off the wall. Any questions, anything you need to work on, please let me know. I'm going to try to get back to everybody rapidly. I hope everybody weathered the storm literally last week, and that we can really get going. And I thank everybody for the patience we had. I thank everybody for their time they took in looking at the new Blackboard arrangement. I think this new 9.1 is much better and much easier to use format. If you have any questions at all, please ask us or go straight to the tech support people. I think it's going to be great for you. Okay, so that's it for the introduction for this week. Thank you, everyone who posted your introductions and your expectations in last week's discussion board, and now it's time to really get to work. Thanks and good afternoon, and if, again, any questions, please contact me. Bye.